tongue is eternal. I'm underground, laying low.
So yeah, technology is a beautiful thing, man. So this is because I looked up the list too. So I'm looking at the top songs. Who you looking at? What you seeing?
The Formula by the DOC.
Yeah, I see that. Go ahead, keep going.
You must learn by BDP or
Yeah, Boogie Down
Boogie
Productions.
KRS-One.
Buddy. Oh, okay.
Buddy
My
by
Buddy,
De La
Jungle
Soul.
Brothers. Oh, that's all. Okay, My
De La
Buddy. Okay,
Soul,
that's right.
I Got It Made by Special Ed. Come on.
That's the joy. Yeah.
Yo, if we talking about positive affirmation, I Got It Made is full of positive affirmation, right?
I never looked at it like that, too.
Yeah.
I never looked at it like that.
Your highest
title. Numero uno. I'm not a Puerto Rican, so I'm speaking so that you know. Come on,
and understand hard. I got the gift of speech, and it's a blessing. So listen to the lessons
I teach. Yeah, that's hard. That's
all
hard.
positive affirmations, right?
Keep going.
You got Cha 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 from MC Light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I noticed something on that list. I want to see if you see it yet. I noticed something on that list that's happening at that time. Because self-destruction was on that list too.
Okay.
Self-destruction. But here's something that's crazy. And shout out to Big Daddy Kane, right? But he got like 3 or 4 top songs that was a top song on that list at that time transitioning. This is what I'm talking about, where the other stuff was phasing out. I feel like when self-destruction came out,
right,
the industry was like, hold up, wait a minute, they united on some positivity? Like, nah, bruh, this ain't gonna make no money, man. I'm like, nah. I see a couple of joints, so here's what I see. I'm seeing a lot of the Beastie Boys, the DOC, Ice-T. I do see the Special Ed joint, but and Gangstar, Manifest, another positive, but then you started getting to a lot of the Warm It Up Kane. You got Cool G Rap and DJ Polo, right? What song was that with them? That was Road to Riches, bro. That's one of my tracks too.
Right.
Road to Riches. That's the people don't know about that song. That song is a monster.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else? I seen on that list. Just trying to go down. Queen Latifah was busting at that. Oh, the Ghetto Boys, Mind of a Lunatic. But it was something. Do what you like. Digital Underground. Do what you that mantra, huh?
Yeah.
Who else now? This
ain't Fight the Power. 1989.
Yeah. But like I said, that was like their last like big joint that from '89 where they was really getting attention though. You know what I'm saying?
Here's what happened in '89 though. What happened was when we go and we look at the charts, because we lived at that time, you know, the charts don't reflect what was really happening in the streets and with hip hop connoisseurs like
right. That's a fact.
What happened at that time was there was and Special Ed got into a lot of controversy about saying this recently. He said NWA brought destruction to our community.
Right.
What happened in '89 was when they came out with, because let me check. '89. When did Straight Outta Compton come out?
That's a good question. I think wasn't it before '89?
Let me look at the Straight Outta Compton studio album. Straight Outta Compton. Dang, that was released in '88. What happened was when they released that in '88, they didn't, they didn't get any radio airplay.
None.
But in terms of kids listening to hip hop,
it made it to the East Coast.
It made it all over. It made it all over the country.
Huge.
right? It
Huge.
wasn't just straight out of Compton because we were banging stuff from their first album.
Right.
With Dope Man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a little story about a brother like
Yeah.
me. Never
Yep.
should have been let out the penitentiary. Ice Cube would like to say that I'm a crazy mother from around the way. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like that. Yo, it was like that hit so hard. It was like, yo, this is.
And I didn't care for it. Niggas in my hood was started rocking it. I did not care for it because I was already in love with the lyricist.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it didn't appeal to me. It sounded to me it just didn't sound smooth to me. It didn't sound butter. I was on that move over bacon near something media, a natural born lover, just love to get free to your media. All you bacon lovers move over because I'm so smooth that they call me Black Sonova. Not trying, you know what I'm saying? I was on that type of time, so that's the kind of music that I really gravitated to. But a lot of my friends, my people, I'm talking about my sandbox people. We
Yeah.
used to spend it in the night. Shout out to LT. We, together stuff, but they liked it. They was like, I used to listen to it like bop my head, like, yeah, whatever. But it wasn't grabbing me at that time. So that's interesting now that we talk about this topic because I didn't jump on that train, but I still was jumped on other trends at that time. But that whole NWA joint, it was cool. The video was dope. You know what I mean? And as Dr. Dre and them progressed, and when they split up, the No Vaseline, when they started dissing each other, all that, that's when I kind of jumped into NWA, like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, they doing things.
Yeah.
And then West Side Connect, I listened to a little bit of that. So I did, for the love of music, I did finally get into it. But at its inception on the East Coast, for me, it wasn't my cup of tea. You know what I'm talking about? It just wasn't at that time. But yeah.
And so that even speaks to our conversation about the topic about hip hop being a deadbeat dad, right? You're not gonna let in any child, any 16, 17-year-old who has a child,
Okay.
they're not, the parent of that child is of that child having a child is gonna step in and kind of guide the guidance, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. I see where you're going with that. I thought you was going with the other part too, like thinking like, say like my mom a single mom, and say if my mom was a single mom, I'm 16 years old or 13 years old, I know who my dad is. My dad is microphone fiend before I became a teen. I melt the mic. That's my dad. So you coming in with this other dad, I'm like, oh, chill. Nah. I want nothing to really.
It's all hip hop. So,
It is. That's
but the
crazy.
thing about it, by the time that hip hop is 16, 17, what happened was, in reality, when NWA came out and the music was so impactful in terms of sales, like young people don't realize that back then you had to sell physical products of music. Like it was records, it was tapes, and it became CDs. And so the business of music was different than what it is now. It wasn't about how many times people clicked on your music online, because there wasn't anything online at that time. There was no online. It was, and so NWA sold so much music without being promoted on the radio that by the time, this was 89, but by the time they saw how much they sold, how many records they sold, how much merch they sold, how many concert tickets they sold, by 92, that's when the infamous meeting of the record executives came together, and they like, yo, you see what's going on here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They all
That's where the
this
marketing
hip hop
came in. That's
thing.
where the St.
Yeah,
Ides came in.
yeah.
The
In terms of
Cisco
this,
came in.
in terms of this hip hop
That's
thing,
crazy.
all this criminal stuff is the hottest stuff. Like we don't even have to
That's
hardly promote it.
crazy.
We
Yeah.
could just put it out there, and everybody was going gold or platinum. It was
Right.
like the as long as they stuck to the script of preaching criminality, then
Yeah.
it was like they was going gold.
And
You know
it
what I'm saying?
resonated too because look, it was coming to a time where those babies of, the 50s and the segregation and the all the Jim Crow laws, all this stuff, these are their kids growing up now. And
Right.
they're more, and Easton Day was more rebellious. So
Mm-hmm.
they connected. So now y'all suffered through this struggle, but now the music is telling me I can get it by any means. Like I ain't got no other option but
Right.
to get outside and get it how you live. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We're gonna stick you, we're gonna move this weight, we're gonna do all these things. It's justifiable, it's acceptable because there's no other opportunity. So we was led to
Where's
believe.
the huge opportunity of the government dropping off drugs into the
Right,
community?
right,
Like we ain't learned this until years later, but it all
right,
happened simultaneously. Like
right,
the CIA dropping crack off into the
right,
community,
right.
and now you got a soundtrack behind it.
What?
Yo,
What?
yo,
What?
it was a perfect
Dope
storm.
man. That's
Right.
crazy.
It was
That's
a
crazy. I
perfect
remember the
storm.
first time I seen crack vials in my backyard by the garbage can. I'm like, damn. Like, pops, what? Like, what's going on? You feel me?
Yeah,
Don't hang
yeah,
with this one because I know, don't be over there. Don't be over there. Cause you getting it from these peoples. You know what I'm saying? So it was a very confusing time. So it really made me. It just made me, and that's why going back to when I was like, I didn't have anybody pushing my like growth as far as an education. You know what I mean? Because my family was in survival mode at the
right.
time. You know what I'm saying? So in survival mode, even though mom's was setting a great example, all I took from it was she's killing herself working. I need to get it fast and quick to get my mom out this hood.
Yeah,
I need to get
yeah,
it now, Mom. I can't wait no more. Life ain't fair. I became, that it's kind of fed a victim mentality across the whole culture.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean? Like everybody's justified to be, to make these questionable moral choices because I don't got no other options.
right.
You know what I mean? So that's why that hip hop played a huge part in spreading that message that's still resonating today amongst the
Yeah,
culture. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's wild to me. That's wild. That's crazy, man.
But the thing is that if you think about what hip hop, how we have perceived hip hop, because the way we've digested hip hop, because it's not like there weren't other factions of hip hop. We both know from spending time in church that there
Mm-hmm.
is a gospel hip hop industry,
Right.
right? We don't, that's not promoted to the masses because number one, it's not attractive to the masses,
Right.
and because it doesn't generate enough money for the big companies to be interested in it, it's not something that the youth grow up learning about,
Mm-hmm. Right.
right?
Right.
So when we talk about the premise of hip hop being a deadbeat dad, I would have to say that is mainstream hip hop a deadbeat dad, because
Okay.
it's not hip hop being a deadbeat dad, because there's always throughout time, throughout the beginning, the middle, the whatever,
Present
all of
day.
those decades,
Right.
there's always been positive hip hop.
That's a
Always.
fact. You know what? That's a good
Always.
point. That's a really good point, because even though I kind of knew that, I never had that understanding of it before you just said, because and I just said, talked about self-destruction, how big
Yeah.
that album, how huge that album was. That video went crazy. You had all the top rappers
Yeah.
at the time in the industries, behind KRS for DJ Scott LaRock in honor of him, because he
Yeah.
died by gun violence.
Right.
So that inspired this whole track. And now, even so, you're right at that time. Matter of fact, now that you think about it, now when I'm looking at that list, I bet in every list there's artists even that was leaked into the mainstream a little bit, who has a positive influence in hip hop at that time, but might not
Sure.
have topped the charts. That's wild. That's wild,
Sure.
because I know every positive album that I ever tried to do, whatever spin on music, never got any shine. Until now, we live in a time where you got an artist like Lecrae who has to fight with the church and the religion, saying, "Hey, I'm a Christian, but I'm an artist.
Right.
I'm just a man that loves God, but I love hip hop, and I'm
Right.
just spitting my truth on this mic."
Right.
And the religion tried to stifle his creativity to make it fit into their thing. And he's like, but this man ended up winning Grammys, but he suffered so much personally from other people's opinions and things. You know what I mean? So, and
Right.
that's wild that happened like that. You know what I mean? I always said, like, that album I dropped, I said, the church, they missed out, man. That joke was fire. They had a whole boy, but it doesn't move the needle. This positivity just doesn't. But that's a culture thing as a whole. Like, to me, that's not just black culture. That's just culture as a whole. It's more fun to watch a movie with some shoot 'em up, bang bang, than a sappy love story. To me personally, I don't want to see you holding hands. I don't want to see a rom com. They cool when you chilling with but at the most, I want to see something. I want to see something that's more stimulating, and you know what I mean? And the sappy stuff just isn't really stimulated when it's presented a certain way.
Yeah, but the rom coms, make a lot of money too. Right?
They do.
They
That's
make
probably
a
not
lot
the
of money
genre I
too.
should have picked. But more people like horrors. The horror movies get more shine than most rom coms. You know what I mean? So that type of thing. So it's just
crime movies, murder mysteries. Yeah,
even the regular TV shows. There's a zillion cop-fed CIA conspiracy shows where it's always action, shoot 'em up, bang bang, TV shows, and they run forever.
Yeah.
Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
What's that? The SVU, the Law and Order, SVU. You know what I mean?
Right.
All these FBI. Like, there's a ton of. I'm just, you know what I mean? Those shows get more. Them things, they live on forever. They keep this because it just don't stop. Because it's always, they could always write something just crazy, shoot them up, murder, blood. It don't matter. It's gonna work. It's gonna move the needle for people. They're attracted to that.
Yeah. And so the direction that hip hop took, mainstream hip hop took, was
let's qualify that.
Yeah, because I can't say that hip hop is a deadbeat dad, but I could say that mainstream hip hop has turned.
You turn me on that. Pause. You turn me on that, because that, you really made me just open my eyes to that mainstream portion of that.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Like, they put so much money behind promoting mainstream hip hop, and they looked at the books and said, hey, with less money, we looking at the blueprint of NWA, because NWA was coming from Ruthless, which is an independent label, right?
Right.
Who, Ruthless did the deal with Priority, which was also an independent label, right? So they're like, all right, if they're able to sell millions of records without radio airplay, what can we do with them once we put money behind them? And so you saw what happened. Like, you saw all these gangster rappers going at least gold with
Right.
minimal promotion. And
Right.
so, the ones that were super talented, then they put even more money behind them, and they got, they were cash cows.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that it was
You got me
designed that way.
curious too. You got me curious too because now thinking of movies, and entertainment and hip hop together, right? And mainstream culture.
Hmm.
Hold on. I'm interested to see what year the movie Colors came out. Wow. Colors came out in 1988. Remember that movie? With
Yeah, of
Sean with
course,
the
of
Colors
course.
came out. That ain't Rocket. That ain't Rocket. Colors came out in 1988 and you said the NWA joint dropped when? That was
'88.
the 88. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's
What year did New Jack City come out?
I want to say New Jack City
91.
like 91.
91.
Yeah. That's crazy.
91.
What was the
Yeah.
and that even though first of all the soundtrack to New Jack City is fire.
Right.
Fire. And it's not like a whole negative thing. The soundtrack is just fire. If you never listen to the soundtrack of New Jack City, do yourself a favor and go visit it right now. I'm telling you right
Right.
now. That's what that joint is like. Oh my God. But what year did Juice come out? Because Juice,
um,
so between New Jack City and Juice, I'm going to say this is like on the East Coast. You know what I mean? At least where I was, Jersey,
92.
New York.
92 was
What
June.
year?
92.
It broke 92. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So, and like, so, conspiracy theorists and people have said this. I don't know if you've heard it or any of your viewers have heard about it, but they say in 92 is when the record executives came together and they talked about, because what's homeboy's name from Wise Intelligent from Poor Righteous Teachers?
Okay. Yeah.
He had, there's a video on YouTube where he was talking about this meeting of the record executives who came together somewhere in Los Angeles and came together and decided, look, this is what we're going to promote. This is
Right.
the type of music that we're going to make our priority.
Right.
And they all were coming together to invest not only in the music but in private prisons,
Right.
in the
Yeah.
private prisons.
I
You
was
heard
waiting for you
about
to
that?
get to that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Because they needed they needed people to fill the prisons, and they were saying that they pushed this negative information out because they needed to fill they needed product. They needed product for the private prisons, and this was the
yeah. I don't
easiest
think
way.
it's that simple. Like, oh, we need product. Let's, I think it was a grand scheme. Like, yo, we making money off of this music. What does the music produce? The music produces better criminals, right? Or
Oh, so
you
like it's
know,
just like a necessary evil. Like I mean, we
right?
didn't know that this was going to be a happen, but since it's happening, we might as
Since it's
well
happening, might as well
cash in on it.
invest. Yeah, we might as well get even more money. You know,
Investment, listen, that was my grandkids' words of the day, man. The word of the day was investment, and they had to learn investment, what it meant. You know what I mean? And and that's what I was teaching them today. And it's crazy because just to think that people are a commodity, which we've always been,
always.
but always been, but now mentally, like a lot of people don't know, you have to guard yourself. So like I remember being in church because I was raised in a very faith-based family, right?
Right.
Some of my family members was ultra religious, but then I also had people that was really had a relationship with the Most High. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Mhm.
and that was their pathway. I kind of look at it like, you know, they took a vehicle, because religion to me is just a vehicle to get to the source, to get to the Most High, to get to God. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but then you had people who started worshiping the vehicle.
Right.
You know what I mean? And legalizing the vehicle versus get to the destination. You see what I'm saying? So,
Right.
like a lot of times, and I feel like with hip hop, that's kind of like hip hop was a vehicle for people to unite mentally, culturally, and then along that vehicle, the mainstream was used to like sway those to profits and
Right.
bottom line that take away from the beauty of the art. Because I was just watching Beat Street. Beat Street came out in 1984.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, the songs, the Beat Street, you listen to that track,
Yeah.
nothing. There was not one negative song.
Nothing at all. No negativity
No
at all.
negativity at all.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, some people might have said it was negative because the language wasn't ultra whatever. You know, they might have some curse words in it here and there, but no, this music was so positive, bro. It was just amazing to listen to it. Like, yo, this is what these niggas was talking about.
Yep.
Melly Melly. I'm like, yo.
Yep.
So yeah, that's super interesting, man. To even see, I knew you had a different insight and view on this thing, man. So okay, all right. So with that being said, so now saying like the mainstream hip hop kind of is like the Deadbeat Dad section. And I guess like if you define like a deadbeat dad, it's like they planted a seed and then left you to figure it out. Here's all this. Here's me. There you go. You got the info, and I'm going this way, and you can just. I'm not taking responsibility for you.
Right. Like your man Leon Cohen when in his interview at the Breakfast Club, when they were like, well, if you know that this type of music like creates, you know, I can't remember how Charlemagne said it, but it was very, so I can't quote it verbatim, but he's like, so if you know that this type of music, you know, creates this type of situation in the community, like why would you, or you know, or this type of turmoil with your artist, like why would you promote it?
Right.
And he was like, his exact words, well, I gotta eat. I got a family to feed.
Right.
So when you talk about a deadbeat dad, you're talking about in terms of the mainstream hip hop industry.
Yeah.
The mainstream hip hop industry understood that they understand that this collective of labels understand that, all right, we have this much influence that we know that if we promote, that we can get this message out, right?
Right.
And just like you know, and any type of, you know, anyone that drops a seed and understand that, hey, I can, you know, I got babies all over here, right? So the mainstream hip hop audience is, all right, I'll create these babies. I'm a bring them up, and I'm a you know, and I'm gonna let that baby. I'm a whisper in the ear of the baby. You know, if you want to be successful, you need to, you know, you need to be talking about robbing and shooting and selling drugs, and you know that's how you get money. Look at all my other babies. You see
You're doing well.
You see my successful babies over here.
Yeah, that's
wild. You see my sons here.
Yeah, that's
you know
wild.
What I mean? You
really,
see my daughters
crazy.
here. You see the most successful ones. They're rapping about killing. They're rapping about murder. They're rapping about you know, sex with no consequence. With, you know, having sex with as many people as possible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck these bitches, hoes, and tricks. You know, and You see that? See, come on up if you want to be successful. And then they know the deadbeat dad, which is the mainstream hip hop industry, is understanding that path will lead your children to death, destruction, jail,
Right.
right?
Addictions.
All of that. And so
All
they
that.
like, hey,
Poverty.
it don't matter. It don't matter that I birthed them. It doesn't matter.
I'm not taking responsibility for it.
I'm not taking responsibility because they've made their own decision.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's wild too, because if you look at artists today, right, like Cardi B, she won't let her daughter listen to her music.
Her own daughter.
Leon Cohen didn't let his kids listen. His kids didn't listen to that crap. They went off to college. Leo Cohen, how you say his name? Leo Cohen?
Right. Leo Cohen,
yeah. Yeah, his children didn't listen to it. You know what I mean? You know, you don't see Eminem's daughter, Haley, wilding out. She got well educated. Look at the baby. He spit his stuff, and then he raised his babies outside of the hood. Right. You know what I'm saying? And well, Holmes, look at Meek Mill, how he treat his son and everything. Like they're providing something totally different than the image that they're putting out to the world. But at home, there's something totally different, and they're not feeding their kids that nonsense. You see what I'm saying? Because they know they know it's nonsense, but they don't take responsibility. And look at what's happening right now throughout the hip hop industry. So now you got P. Diddy. Now they're coming after your boy Hove and Beyonce, right? For their morality. Right? Even though during this whole time, their families, their children and stuff, they try to make them well-to-do, and they're not feeding the poison to them, but they're still kind of caught up in that will because of the financial benefits of it that put them in a compromising position now, because now the chickens is kind of coming home to roost. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, wow, and they're not the only ones. It's a ton of people who paid the price. I remember I was looking at a list. It was when did I can't remember how long ago King Von died. Maybe like 3 years ago, maybe.
It was during the pandemic.
Okay, and then the other dude, it's been a lot, but anyway, it sparked like this. I seen this video here on YouTube, and it showed like over 300 artists that died that year,
just
within
rappers.
a year's time. Rappers,
just rappers.
Most of them were well known. A lot of them had buzz though. They had buzz and whatever. And I'm like looking at this list, like this is wild. Like nobody's really reporting this. Because niggas die every day, B. You know what I'm saying? Niggas die every day, B. That's crazy.
It is being recorded. The thing is that
reported as far as in mainstream.
It is being reported mainstream. The thing though is that the responsibility, there's no responsibility being given to the parent companies who are funding and investing in these campaigns for these artists.
Right.
When they are focusing on on killing and murdering and selling drugs and all this stuff. The thing is that so it's like the deadbeat dad is birthing them, and then they're able to fall back and say, hey, that was their choice.
Yeah. We was just having fun.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
They were painting any type of picture as their art. I didn't, as a dad, I wasn't trying to control their art. I was just
letting them speak their truth. Hold on 1 second though. Let me pivot with this right quick. Hold on 1 second. Let me do this right quick.
Okay. Nah, it's God's fault.